we encourage you to look at our website, www.shorelineartsalliance, and join us with viewing the wonderful calendar of events, and also you can get e-blasts that come out each week with what's happening in the coming week. So I encourage you to do that. Tonight we're so fortunate to have with us in our 17th season here, Legacy Theater, a local company that we know has great things to come, especially tonight. So I'm proud to invite to the stage Stephanie Stiefel-Williams, who will join me over here. She's the president of the Board of Trustees for Legacy Theater and co-founder of Legacy Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you all for coming. This has been such an exciting event for Legacy Theater to become involved in. Legacy is a nonprofit theater company that was formed in 2011, and we spent a couple of years looking for a home for our new theater company, and it came to our attention that the former Puppet House Theater in Stony Creek, Brantford, was for sale, and so we were able to purchase that, and it is a fabulous historic building. It started out as a non-denominational chapel in 1866, and what else would it become after that but a silent picture house, which was at the beginning of the 20th century. Then it became a live theater where big icons of theater like Orson Welles and the Mercury Players played back in the 30s. It spent a brief time as a parachute factory in World War II, a ladies' garment factory in the 50s, until it finally became the Stony Creek Puppet House Theater and Puppet Museum. So we are thrilled to be now bringing it back to its former glory and making the theater that it's something that can give to the community and be part of the community. We have recently embarked in the last year on a $4.2 million capital campaign, and we will be raising those funds with an eye toward opening next year, either the end of the summer or the beginning of the fall, and we're terribly excited about it. If you like Hamlet tonight, and I know you will, this is the caliber of theater that you can expect to see at Legacy. We really strongly believe in giving back to the community and sharing the arts like Shoreline does, because we know how important it is. We will also have a classes component, a conservatory, and as a matter of fact, next week and the week after there will be classes available. So if you are interested in learning more about the classes or about Legacy in general and what programs we'll have to offer, please go to our website. It's here on the banner, or there's also information under the blue tent where you can learn more about our campaign. As far as tonight is concerned, we are thrilled to be here. We thank Shoreline for having us and giving us an opportunity to present this production of Hamlet. I know you're going to love it. It's a fabulous cast. We love our set. We love the production, and we thank you so much. Please remember, no flash photography. We don't want any of the performers to get hurt. And a brief thank you. This artwork up here on the castle wall, which is depicting the king in the show, was painted and donated by a Shoreline intern. I'll just bring her out to say hello. This is Emily Archer. Talented young artist. And we thank you so much for your contribution. And that is all. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the performance. Thank you.
You can follow her right out. Thanks, Emily. Emily's one of the Shoreline Arts Alliance's interns. The interns are here to work on the business of the arts, typically, but we're fortunate that some of them are artists and have other things that they can offer, like this. So we encourage you, as you know high school students in your community, in your area who might want to join us, these are not, I wouldn't call them necessarily local. She's from Lyme, there's some from Durham, we come all from many communities, so I encourage you to let people know about that. So I have a couple of little things to offer you. Bug spray is one, if you need it, in the blue tent. Also, if you need to take that little walk down the path, to outdoor fancy restroom. You will see as it gets darker, there will be a pathway lit for you. However, a flashlight might be necessary. So we also have loaner flashlights for you at the tent. So over on the blue tent is really where you're going to find lots of things. We encourage you to be a part of what we're doing. We so thank you for that. I'd like to introduce to you Brown Gillespie. Brown is a member of the board of directors of the Shoreline Arts Alliance, and we're so fortunate to have so many here tonight. I thank you all, board of directors, and I'd like to pass the mic over to Brown for a moment. Here you go, Brown.
Hello, hi. Thank you so much for coming, and Legacy, thanks for all you've done for this. 17 years is a pretty good run. We're just beginning. But when I was thinking about this today, you know, kids who came to the first one of these 17 years ago, some of them are graduating from college or have just graduated from college. That whole continuum, every summer this has been happening. And the other thing that I think is wonderful is, where do kids get exposed to Shakespeare in a situation like this? You know, I never took my kids to a theater that was showing anything with Shakespeare. You know, it's like you get the babysitter. So it's a wonderful family thing for people, you know, families, everybody to enjoy together, and I think it's great. So thanks again for coming. One of the things, as you know, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, that these days the arts are not being particularly well supported as they used to be by government entities. So we're not on our own, we're in it together with you. And we all need to band together and support the arts in whatever form of art it is you enjoy the most. And we're here tonight with Shakespeare. So we will be passing the bucket during the intermission, and think about, you know, $10, maybe even a little more. That's cheap entertainment. It's less than the movies, and it's a much more direct personal experience, as you'll see the show tonight. So I really hope you enjoy the show, and keep that in mind. We also have a little survey to fill out. There are 2 nights, 2 tickets to Long Wharf are being given out. If you fill out the survey, there'll be a raffle each night for 2 tickets, so fill that out. And also, if you don't have anything with you, you can take this home, and a QR code will let you donate via your cell phone. And there's a credit card machine over at the blue tent. And that's all I want to talk about money on. It's enough. But anyway, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Brown. Thank you so much. So the last couple of things, we have Braille programs, we have large print programs, we have assisted listening devices for you to loan, and Christina Stevens right down here is helping us with the American Sign Language. So thank her for being here for us. This is all about inclusion. We have so many different folks here tonight. I'm thrilled to see you all. I can't wait to see the production. Shall we see Hamlet by Legacy Theater? Here we go.
Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we, with wisest sorrow, think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, I sometime sister, now our queen, have we, as 'twere with defeated joy, taken to wife. Nor have we here embarred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. Now, Laertes, what's the news with you? What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, I ask your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. Now, our cousin Hamlet, and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Thou knowest 'tis common. All that live must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, together with all moods, forms, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in obsequious sorrow for a certain term to perform grief. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be and is as common as any the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here with us, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come away.
Oh, that this too true solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion, to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. For she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month let me not think on't. frailty, thy name is woman, a little month! Or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God! A beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with mine uncle, my father's brother, yet no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left a flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
I'm glad to see thee well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. I'll wake you from Wittenberg, Horatio.
Truant disposition, good my lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so. I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift! Thrift, Horatio! A funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Seizing your admiration for a while with an attend ear till I may deliver up this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had 2 gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watchmen thus encountered. A figure like your father comes, and with a solemn march goes slow and stately by him. They stand and speak not to him. All this to me in dreadful secrecy, in part they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more alike.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
It's very strange.
As I do live, mine honored lord, 'tis true.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
My duty to your honor.
Your love is mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit, all is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. Sister! As the winds give benefit and convoys assisted, do not sleep, but let me hear.
Do you doubt that?
Now for Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor. Hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, the perfume and suppliance of a minute. No more.
No more, but so.
Think it no more. Well, perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear, for he himself is subject to his birth. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart, but good my brother. Do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own breed.
Fear me not, I stay too long. But your father comes.
Yet here, Laertes? Aboard, aboard, for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. Ah, there. My blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. See thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel. But being in, bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but that expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France, of the best rank and station, are of the most generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for a loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Oh, farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
Oh.
Farewell, Ophelia. Remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell. Farewell. What this thee has said to you, Ophelia?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Oh, marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. You do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection, too. You speak like a green girl. Do you believe these tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Oh, Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby who has ta'en these vows, these tenders for true pay. These are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly. Running it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
By fashion you may call it.
And hath
Go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. When the blood burns, I do know how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes and fire, daughter, you must not take for fire. No. Please, watch yourself. Careful. And listen, from this time forth, I will not have you slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it. I charge you. Now, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Royal Dane, oh answer me!
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it did some impartment desire to you alone, but do not go.
Will not speak, that I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee. It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
What if it tempts you toward the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, and there assume some other horrible form as might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me forth again. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hand.
Be ruled. You shall not go.
My fate cries out, still am I called. Unhand me, gentle friend. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away. Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Me.
I will.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love. Revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I may sweep to my revenge.
Now, Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief, let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole, and in the porches of my ears did pour a leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand of life. Of crown. Of queen. At once dispatched, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible. Oh, horrible. Most horrible. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well. At once. Adieu. Adieu. Hamlet. Remember me.
Remember thee? Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records. All forms, all precious past that youth and observation copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain. Yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain, smiling, damned villain. My tables. Meet it is, I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark, so uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu. Adieu. Remember me. I sworn.
My lord, what news?
Oh, wonderful.
My lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark. But he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
And now, good friend, give me one poor request.
Anything, my lord, I will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nay, but swear it.
Swear.
Of day and night, this is wondrous strange.
Therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, as before, never so help you mercy, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such time seeing me, never shall note that you know aught of me, this not to do, swear!
Swear.
Rest. Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentle friend, with all my love I do commend me to you. Nay, come, let's go in together.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So call it, sith nor the inward nor the exterior man resembles that it was. what it should be, more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself I cannot dream of. I beseech you both, that being of such young days brought up with him, and sith so neighboured to his youth and behaviour, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather whether anything to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am, two men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you, to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, your visitation shall be received with such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet.
Thanks, Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
This business is well ended. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward places, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Oh, mad call I it, for how to define true madness? It is nothing else, what is, but to be mad. Oh, but let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis true. And pity, 'tis true. I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And thus remains, we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, because this effect becomes defective by cause. Perpend. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience mark hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Oh, that's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear thus. In her excellent white bosom, these, etc. Oh, good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt though the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best. Believe it. Adieu. Lie nevermore, most dear lady, while this machine is to him, Hamlet. But, this in obedience hath my daughter given me. But how has she received his love? What do you think of me? As a man faithful and honorable, I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I had seen this hot love on its wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that, before my daughter told me? What might you, or my dear majesty, your queen here, think if I had played the desk or table book, or given my heart a winking, mute and dumb? What might you think? Oh, no. I went round to work, and to my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince. Out of thy star, this must not be. And then I precepts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, accept no tokens, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, then to a lightness, and by this declension into the very madness where now he raves and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may very well be like.
Hath there been such a time, I would fain know so, when I said positively 'tis so, when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Oh, take this from this, if this prove otherwise. I will find, if any certainty, where truth is hid, if I have to go indeed into the center.
How may we find it further?
Well, you know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in this lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to her. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark their encounter. If he love her not, or be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for his state.
We will try it.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Oh, the both of you, I beseech you, both away, away. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Oh, not I, my lord.
And I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
Oh, that's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion... Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How does one say by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet at first he knew me not. He thought I was a fishmonger. I'll speak to him again. What are you reading, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
Oh, I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir, for the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards. Their faces are wrinkled. They have a plentiful lack of wit. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, sir, should be old as I am, if like a crab you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there's method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
That is indeed out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My lord, I must humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything I would more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Oh, fare you well, my lord.
Tedious old fools.
You go seek the Lord Hamlet? There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord!
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou Guildenstern? Rosencrantz, good lads. How do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy, and that we're not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we're not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favors?
Hey, her private suite.
Ah, the secret parts of Fortune! Most true. She is a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lord, but the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison thither?
Prison, my lord.
But Denmark's a prison.
That is the world one.
Oh, goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space were it not that I have had dreams. Shall we to the court, for by my faith I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest fellow, I am most dreadfully offended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what made you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Figure that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. Were you not sent for?
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me, but let me conjure you, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air. Look you. This brave o'erhanging firmament. This majestical roof, fretted with golden fire, why it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. A piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such delight not in man. What Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way, and hither they are coming to offer you service.
Oh, he that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of me.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come then. You are welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I'm but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk for my handsaw.
We'll be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, you two. At each ear I hear, that great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouds. I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players' market.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors that come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Oh, upon mine honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical tragical, pastoral historical, for tragedy, comedy, history, pastory, scene individable, or poem unlimited, for the law of writ and the liberty. These are the only men.
Look where my abridgment comes. You are welcome, masters, welcome both. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
Aeneas' tale to Dido. That live in your memory, begin at this line. You see, the rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, 'tis not so. It begins with Pyrrhus, the rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot, now is he total gules, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam, seeks. So proceed you.
Oh, for God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good diction.
Shh.
Anon, he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arms, lies where it falls. Pyrrhus of Pyrrhum drives, and rage strikes wide, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash, takes prisoner of Pyrrhus' ear. For lo, his sword, which was on the decline of milky, reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So, as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. So as we often see against some storms, the bold wind speechless, and the orbs below as hush as death. Anon the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So after Pyrrhus' pause, aroused vengeance sets him new a work, and remorse, as Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam.
Oh, this is too long.
Shout to the barbers with your beard.
But look, she has turned her color, and there's tears in her eyes. I pray you no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, we see the players well bestowed. Dost thou hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you had better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
Oh, come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Gentlemen, I will leave you till tonight. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so. God be with you. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here could force her soul so to her own conceit that from its working all her visage warmed, tears in her eyes, distraction in her aspect, yet I, dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak and can say nothing. Not for a king, on whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my patercross, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat, as deepest in the lungs. Who does me this, huh? Swoons I should take it, for din of people I am pigeon-livered, and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's awful bloody body, villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance. Why, what an ass am I. This is most brave. That I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must follow cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon it! Bows my brains. Huh. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play proclaim their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I will observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of conference, get from him why he puts on this confusion? He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he'll by no means speak.
Did you assay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we are out on the way. Of these we told him, and as I think they have already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he did beseech me to entreat your majesties to both see and hear the matter.
With all my heart. It doth much content me to hear him thus oblige. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose on to these delights. We shall, my lord. Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
By the very cunning of the scene.
I hear him coming. Let us withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, pangs of disprized love. The laws delay the insolence of office and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus, the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought and enterprises of great pitch and moment. With this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. So, dear, fair Ophelia, live in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord!
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What needs your lordship?
But if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty. I did love you. Once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so!
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Or wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things, that it were better my mother had not borne me. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him then. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens!
Thou dost, Mary? I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. To a nunnery, go, and quickly to farewell. Or, if thou wilt needs marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly to farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him!
Go to! Oh, no more, aunt. It hath made me mad. I say, you'll have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown! The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the observed of all observers quite down. And I, of ladies most dejected, wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows. Oh, it's me! To have seen what I have seen, and see what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch disclose will be some danger. Which, for to prevent, I have thus in quick determination set it down. He shall with speed to England. What think you on't?
It shall do well, my lord. But yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. Oh, how now, my Ophelia? You need not tell us what the Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. Do as you please. But if you see fit, after the play, have his queen mother all alone with him. I will be placed so, if it please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier read my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with the special observance that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature. Oh, there be players that I have seen play, and heard others praise, and that highly, not to speak it profanely, having neither the accent of Christian, nor the gait of Christian pagan or man, as I strutted and bellowed on the stage, that I thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
Well, I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Reform it all together. Go, make you ready. What ho, Horatio.
Here, my sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
They do not think I flatter, but blessed are they whose blood and judgment are not so well commingled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger to sound when stop she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core. Aye, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself uncannel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen.
If he steal aught the whilst this play is playing and scape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They are coming to the play, I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot eat capon so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
They're mine now. Be the players ready.
Aye, my lord. They stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother, here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
You think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between a maid's legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
Oh God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to our clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this the prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief.
As woman's love.
Full 30 times has Phoebus' cart gone round Neptune's salt wash until its orbit ground, since love, our hearts, and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do. But thou shalt live here, in this fair world behind honored, beloved, and haply one as kind. For husband,
Oh, confound the rest. If much love must needs treason in my breast, in second husband let me be accursed. None who wed the second, but who killed the first.
I know you do believe that what you speak, but what we do determine oft we break, so think thee now no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Both here and hence me last pursuing strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
If she should break it now.
Is deeply sworn. Oh, sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile this tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh. But she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
Nope, they do but jest. Poison and jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king. Thoughts black. Hands apt. Drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. By natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises!
What? Frighted with false fire.
How fast, my lord?
No, give her the play.
Give me some light!
Light!
Away!
Why let the stark and dear go eat the hot and gauntlet play? For some must watch, for some must sleep. Thus runs the world away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost word for 1,000. Now didst perceive?
Very well, my
Upon
lord.
the talk of the poisoning?
I did very well note him, my lord.
Come! Some music, come! The recorders!
Good, my lord. Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
in his retirement, marvelous distempered.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You're welcome!
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey were she. 10 times our mother. Oh, the recorders, let me see. One. To withdraw with you. You play upon this pipe.
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Look you now how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ here. Cannot you make it speak? Spud, do you think I am easier to be played upon than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
You see yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mast, 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
Oh, it is back like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Oh, very like a
I
whale.
will come to my mother by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me. Friend. It's now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft. Now to my mother. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
I like him not, nor stand it safe with us let madness range. Therefore prepare you, for he to England shall, along with you. He will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, good my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as strong as will, I stand in pause, where I shall first begin, both neglect. If this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood, is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. And oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I'm so possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, my queen. Try what repentance can. What can it not? Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat? Now he's praying, and now I'll do it. So he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven? Why, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged? To take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up, sword, to know thou a more horrid hent. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in't, then trip him.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. I'll sconce me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
I'll warrant you. Fear me not.
Mother!
Withdraw.
Mother!
I hear him coming.
Mother! Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
But how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Hast thou forgot me?
No. By the rood, not so. You are the queen. Your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not, till I've set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me?
Dead! Duck it! Dead!
Oh! I am slain!
Oh, me! What hast thou done?
Hey, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed! Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. Leave wringing of your hands. Sit you down, and let me wring your heart.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against
Such an
me?
act as blurs the grace and blush of modesty.
By me, what act?
Look here, upon this picture. And on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See, what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. Look you now, what follows? Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. What judgment would step from this to this?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears.
A murderer and a villain, and from a shelf the precious diadem stole, and put it in his pocket, a king of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly gods.
Alas, he's dead.
Do not forget. This visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you? Whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look you how pale he glares.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is, I see.
Why, look how it steals away my father in his habit as he lived.
No. This is the very coinage of your brain.
My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul that not your trespass but my madness speaks.
Thou hast left my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it. With the pure. For this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so. Punish me with this. This with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him. He will answer well to the death I gave him. I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed. My two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. Let it work. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave. Was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, Mother.
Oh, my good Lord. What have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad. As the sea and wind, when both contend, which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his dagger, cries a rat, and kills the unseen. Good old man!
Oh, heavy deed. Had been so with us if we'd been here. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like a mineral among metals base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done to...
Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. Ho, Guildenstern! Hamlet, in madness, hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. Go, I bid you hasten this! Oh, Gertrude, come away. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what's untimely done and what we mean to do. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed.
Hamlet! Lord Hamlet!
What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust where to 'tis kin.
Tell us where it is, we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Bring it to me.
My lord. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain congregation of worms are in at him. A man may fish with the worm that hath ate of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven! Send thither to see. If indeed your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go.
Oh my God.
Up the stairs into the lobby.
Seek him out.
He will stay until you come.
Hamlet, this deed of thine must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare yourself for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
This is good.
So is our Newstown purposes.
Oh, I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
Hey, mother! Mother and father is man and wife is one flesh and soul. My mother. But come for England.
Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. And England, if my love thou holdst at aught, thou mayst not coldly set my sovereign process by letters conjuring to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? Should I your true love know from another one by his cockle hat and staff and his sandals show?
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may construe dangerous thoughts in ill-breeding minds.
Save you? Nay, pray you, Mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green tooth, at his heels a stone.
To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Pray you, Mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow, larded with sweet flowers, which we went to the grave did go. With tulip showers, with tulip showers, which we wept to the grave did go.
Conceit on her father, How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but wait to think they should lay him in the cold ground. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, lady. Good night, sweet lady. Good night. Good night.
Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions.
Stand aside!
Alack, what noise is this?
Where is this king? Oh, thou vile king, give me my father!
Calmly. Good, Laertes.
That truffle blood that's calm proclaims me bastard.
What is thy cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There such divinity doth hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance! Vows to the blackest devil I dare damnation! To this point I stand, let come what comes. Only I'll be most thoroughly revenged for my father.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is't writ in your revenge that swoop stake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them, then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican repast them with my blood.
Ah, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, it shall as level to your judgment pierce as day doth to your eye.
Let her come in. What noise is this? Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Heavens. Should it be young maid's wits are as mortal as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny. And in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Ophelia, Ophelia, hast thou thy wits? And didst persuade revenge it could not move thus?
You must sing a down, and you call him a down. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. Here's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. Here's pansies, that's for thoughts. And here's rue for you, and here's some for me. Oh, you must wear your rue with indifference. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. Oh. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy. And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, he never will come again. His beard was as white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away mourn. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God, God be with you.
Do you see this? Oh, God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give to you in satisfaction. But If not, be you content to lend your patience to us, to give you due content.
Let this be so. This means of death, this obscure funeral. The cry to be heard is tore from heaven to earth, that I must call it into question.
So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Horatio, ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase, and in the grapple I boarded them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly down. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England, of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet.
So have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms. My revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
Laertes usually hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall first ask your throat in the church. Revenge should have no bounds, but, good Laertes, will you do this? Remain within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come back. We'll set you in fine together and wager on your heads, so that with ease or a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in passive practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. For that purpose, I will touch my blade with this contagion. But if I gall him slightly, it will be death.
Let's further think on this. If this should fail, 'twere better not essayed, lest this plan should have a back or second. Soft, I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared for him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sisters drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow, grows askant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There, on the pendant bough, her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her reedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia. And therefore I forbid my tears. It is our trick. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet. Oh, to contract all for my behold. Oh, methought there was nothing meet.
Does this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
But age with his stealthy steps hath clawed me in its clutch, and has shipped me until the land, as if I had never been such.
Skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. Well, the knave jowls it to the ground. Whose grave is this, Cyril?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
Thou liest out on it, and therefore it is not thine. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
Oh, one that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How long hast thou been a grave maker?
I came to it that day our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Oh, cannot ye tell that? Every fool can tell that. Oh, it was the very same day that young lad Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why? Because he was mad. He will recover his wits there. Or if he don't, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen him in there. All the men are as mad as he in England. I have been section here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Oh, in faith, if he not be rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 or 9 year. Oh, here's a skull has lain in the ground 23 years.
Whose was it?
Oh, a horse and mad fellow it was. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, most excellent fancy, hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is, a gorge rises at it. There hung those lips I've kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your songs, flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen.
Now get you to my lady's chamber. Tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come, make her laugh at that.
Soft. Soft aside. Here comes the king. Queen. Courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites. This doth betoken the course they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. Count we while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have worn ties. Her death was doubtful. Yet here she is allowed her virgin krans, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
Lay her in the earth. And from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. And I tell thee, churlish priest, ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
Sweets, to the sweet. Farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Hold off the earth a while, till I've caught her once more in my arms. Now pile your dust upon the quickened deck, till of this flat a mountain you have made, to our tough old Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
The prayers not I really take thy fingers from my throat! I'll fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him!
Hear you, sir, what is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever! But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. Sweet Gertrude, set some watch over your son. His grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, I'll proceed to this. Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, thinkest thee, stand me now upon he that hath killed my king, and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle from my proper life, and with such cousinage, is not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is not to be damned to let this cancer of our nature come into further evil.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back in Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I would impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit.
Sir, there newly comes to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, yet in faith if you did, it would not much approve.
I mean, sir, for his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but well.
The king, sir, has wagered with him that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he should not exceed you 3 hits. He has laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, 'tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, the king hold his purpose, I will win for him, and I can. If not, I shall gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are unfit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. A special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be not now, 'tis not to come.
If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is to leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet. Come, take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardon it, as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done, that by your nature, honor, and exception, roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, that I shot mine arrow o'er the house, and hurt my brother.
I do receive your offered love like love, and therefore will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me. Wine! If Hamlet give the first or second hit, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw, and you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
A hit, a palpable hit.
Hold, give me drink. Hamlet, whoa, goodness. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first, set it by a while.
Well, again.
Another hit, what say you?
A touch. A touch, I do confess. Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brows.
Let me see the other.
The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, good madam.
Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by.
Come, let me wipe your face.
My lord, I'll hit him now. I do not think it, and yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes? You do but dally. Pray you, pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so. Well, come on.
Nothing. Neither way.
How about you now? Go!
Part them!
Look for the queen there, ho!
Lead on both sides. How is it, my lord?
Laertes, how is it?
Betrayed by mine own treachery. How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, no. The drink. The drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Oh. Villainy. Seek it out. Treachery, let the doors be locked! It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous weapon that's in thy hand hath turned itself on me. And lo, here I lie, never to rise again. My mother's poison. I can no more, no more. The king is the point. Venom to two. Then venom to thy
Will you defend me, friends? I have been hurt!
Dear, thou incestuous, murderous, damned, Dane, drink off this potion! Is our union here? Follow my mother. He's justly served. Come, exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death fall not upon thee, nor thine on me. Nothing make thee free of it. I follow thee. You who look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, oh, I could tell you. And let that be. Oh. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to thee unsatisfied. Oh! God, Horatio! What a wounded name thing standing thus unknown to live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in vain to tell my story, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. What is it you would see? If out of woe or wonder, cease your search. Give order that these bodies high upon the stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot, purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver. Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally. And for his passage, soldiers' music and the rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go. Bid the soldiers shoot.